Hola Ximena, esto uno es solo para tú. Um, I realized reading to Anna Maria and Sarah that I have so many books I've wanted to share with you. So I'm gonna try out reading something to you, and I'm gonna speed it up so I don't ramble and ramble. And remember that you're watching this. Okay. This is part of that Temple Grandin book that I mentioned the stuff about the opioid system. I'm just going to read. This part's called Love Hurts. The same chemicals in the brain are involved too. Most people know that the brain has its own painkillers called endorphins. Endorphins are endogenous opioids. They are nature's version of morphine and heroin. The brain circuit that releases endorphins is called the opioid system. The brain releases endorphins when we're injured to reduce pain, and also when we are with people we love or when someone we love touches us. A lot of neuroscientists think we probably become addicted to or dependent on people in a similar way to heroin or morphine addiction. 2. People who are attached to each other develop a social dependence on each other that's based on a physical dependence on brain opiates. A lot of interesting research has been done on the opioid theory of love and friendship using the drug naltrexone, an opioid antagonist that blocks opiates in the brain. Jack Penskep is best known for this research, and I've done an experiment with Nicholas Dodman, who is a professor in the Tufts University School of Veterinary Medicine and also the author of The Dog Who Loved Too Much. Doctors use naltrexone to treat heroin and alcohol addictions, but it also blocks endorphins. So researchers can use naltrexone experimentally to see what happens to social attachment and distress calls when an animal's opioid system isn't working. What researchers have found is that animals get much more social when they take naltrexone, which is exactly what they'd hope they find. Here's how it works. Naltrexone blocks the effects of opioids in the brain, which feels bad. Functionally speaking, having your opioids blocked is the same as having low opioids. Social contact raises opioids in the brain, which feels good. In theory, animals who've taken naltrexone ought to get more and more social because they are trying to raise their endorphin levels back up to where they were before the naltrexone blocked them. An animal whose endorphins are low should try to raise endorphins by getting more social contact, the same way a heroin addict whose heroin levels have gotten low will want to use more heroin. That's what happened in the experiments. Dogs on naltrexone wagged their tails more and more, and monkeys groomed each other more. Animals taking naltrexone became more sociable. I haven't heard of any experiments on naltrexone in typical humans, but Dr. Penskep has done a lot of work using naltrexone in autism because he thinks some people with autism may have too many natural opioids in their brains. High levels of opioids lower social desire, which is why heroin and morphine addicts withdraw from social contact. They stop feeling the need for other people. Dr. Penskep thinks some autistic children may be like heroin addicts. They don't feel the need to interact with other people because their opioids are too high. He based this theory on the fact that some autistic children have abnormally low pain sensitivity, which might come from too high opioid levels, and also on the fact that some autistic children do not cry real tears. When you give opiates to animals, they don't cry at all, so it's possible an autistic child who cries without tears might have the same problem in his opioid system. Animal researchers use the same word to describe crying in animals as in people. Dr. Penskep also thinks autistic children who like very spicy or salty or hot foods might have naturally high opioid levels, so they might get more social taking naltrexone. So far, he's found that about half of the autistic children he's treated have gotten more social when they take low doses of naltrexone. So you'll have to tell me if it's bearable. That's the end of this section, and I will read the other section to you if it's bearable for you to watch me reading. I'm not sure about that, but I'll wrap it up because you've almost been watching for 5 minutes if you do. I love you and I miss you very, very much. I can't wait to see you. Give so much love to the girls for me. And of course Alex when he comes home. And okay, bye.